If you're losing money as a trader, here's why. Emotion. That's the problem. See, Paul Tudor Jones is one of the...
It's all different type of punch attacks. Tape 2 is mainly about
if you're losing
and
money as a trader, here's why.
attackers
Emotion.
and
That's
combinations
the
like tie box,
Paul Tudor
kickbox
Jones
kicks,
is
how
one
we
of the...
defend ourselves. And there's all different types of punch attacks. Tape 2 is mainly about
if you're losing money as a trader, here's why.
attackers. And also in each tape we will show you like Grima, like
Paul Tudor
the
Jones
system,
is
how we
one of the...
defend ourselves, empty hands again. And there's all different types of punch attacks, transition to real swords, swords, things like that. And about my personal advice like Grima, like training in the martial arts in 1996. Empty hands again. I did something like Thai boxing, many years like swords, wrestling, and wrestling boxing. All these I have done to understand training in the martial arts, Wing Chun and Eskrima. I have Thai boxing, many years like violence and wrestling in Germany. All these I have done to fight and training and Eskrima. And all what I've cared my whole life, how can I defend myself against violence as possible. Also Germany has a style that is scientific and doesn't need rely on age or flexibility or force. So like one day very old, I will still be able to defend myself. And that's why we use the concept of Wing Chun and doesn't need a Eskrima Latosa weapon system. And that's what we're going to do today. Okay, in tape 1, I will explain you how we position our arms, our limbs to protect ourselves, to guard ourselves, and why we do it different than other styles. Like in boxing, they are very close, like here, or like karate style, sometimes here, or whatever, like, you know, some kung fu styles are like this. So you have to understand also the scientific background of the Wing Chun system. So the first logical thing you have to understand, or the thought you should have, or question you should ask yourself is, what do I want to protect? So in our case, it's from our big brain to our small brain. Anything in here, which are vital organs. We need this to protect. If we get attacked here, people can cause a blackout on us. Once I have a blackout, knocked out, I cannot defend myself. If you break an arm or a leg, you're still conscious and you can protect you somehow. So now, once we know which area we want to protect, so we need to find the center. So to position our limbs there to equally to every side, to the front, to the left and right, have the same distance with our limbs to protect it. Now, for that we need geometrical measurements. Let's say to get to the center we need a vertical midline, in that sense to have 50% to divide left and right. So it would be here. And then we need a horizontal midline. So it divides exactly here. The cross point is our center point. From here an imaginary line goes straight forward. This is our center line. So once we have these 3 lines, we create 3 dimensions, right? So from left to right we have the width, from low to up we have the height, and from here is your depth. If you position our limbs like this, now you see we have the highest and lowest point, it's our height, from elbow to elbow is our width, and from fingertip to our elbow back is our depth. So you have a 3-dimensional protection shield. Okay, so time is the 4th dimension. In time we use, if the opponent attacks, we move in. So we shorten the time of the impact, and said if I would stay here, the impact would be on my face or here. If I can have the contact with the opponent's punch here, it's too late for me to deflect it or move myself away from him, or use his force to move myself away from him. But if it's here, by me moving forward, I create pressure. So if he's stronger, my arm tries to intercept, he creates something like a spring type of effect. So my arm becomes very flexible, so I can borrow the opponent's force. So therefore time really makes me to get the impact much up here, so the sense of touch of my arms has time enough. It's a direct reflex to feel where the pressure of the attack goes. So in our system we don't care really about what type of attack he does. We care about angles. So it's a back fist like a diagonal angle, or circular hooks, or swing, or straight like a jab or a straight punch, or like a karate punch. It really doesn't matter, or Wing Chun punch. So we have only these 3 types of angles: circular, diagonal, and straight. So here I'm going to demonstrate you a little bit the Wing Chun punches. So Michael, can I have you? So very, very simple. If Michael would give me a straight attack, so I would not punch like this. Okay? Or I would not punch like a boxer, or maybe this side. So if he punches with the shoulder, I punch with the shoulder, what you see is mostly this one. I hit you, you hit me technique. Therefore, you look sometimes very handsome. No, you cannot fight like this. The idea is, because Wing Chun is being created for the average person. You go back, the founders were two women. So they're not built strong, so they cannot afford to take a punch. So in my case, or Michael, we're professionals, so we train. But still, for the average person to have the chance relatively in his own environment where he every day goes out after work, he wants to protect in his own environment himself. So we're not teaching people to fight, let's say, Mr. Mike Tyson. But if he wants to do that, he must train every day, 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon. So no break, different food, different schedule of his life, but then he's professional again. So this is really for the average person in his own environment to defend himself. He needs a very intelligent, very scientific, smart self-defense system. So if Mike would punch me, we keep our shoulders very straight, you see? So when you look at the general in boxing, your target is your face, your nose. If I punch, this is the longest, the jab is the longest weapon, but where's my face? If I really look here, this is the length I'm using, this part. But in Wing Chun, we punch, we use the whole arm. So if he gives me a jab, I move in, my arm is always longer. So compared to jab. If I put my shoulder in, just like boxing, where you have a lot of the time this type of situation in boxing. Okay? So also our force and our punch comes from the elbow, which I will go a little bit later into it, how we get strong punches. So if you punch me just a normal punch, if I'm outdoor, my elbow low, it's a substitute for the triangle we have here. If you just leave your hand here, look, with the effect here, I split his force, deflect it here. Same as when I'm from outdoor, same position here. If I'm indoor, I lock my fist. Okay, or if he comes across, I lock my fist. I don't leave it bended, so otherwise there's a hole here. Then looks like a Swiss cheese. You know, like the cheese with a hole? This goes in here, all right? So really the idea is, each time, no matter I'm indoor or outdoor or diagonal, it's the same punch for you. It's the same punch. The point is now, since you're exercising, I have to stay still. So indoor, I must lock my fist so it cannot intercept. If I leave it here, you see what's happened? Outdoor, I must leave it low. But in action, if you punch us in slow motion, I move and look. By the time I affect this already cut, this angle with interception, with the force cuts him already. And then the time when I hit him, it's going to happen this. Look, it's the same momentum. Now slowly, see? It's the same punch. If it comes diagonal, the same punch. Since I'm standing here and we just exercise a little bit, let's say I'm just outdoor, you see I'm only crossing my punch. So the idea is really I'm doing the same punches. If I would do here and chain punch, you cross, same.
So you're interested in machine learning, but you're not sure where to learn more about it. Check out TensorFlow, built by Google engineers and powering Google Tech. We've curated some of our favorite videos, courses, and books so you can get working with the very latest in machine learning. It's all on the Learn ML page at tensorflow.org.
बहुत टेंशन में पड़ जाते हैं लोग। ये मतलब इतना अच्छा खासा बंदा था ये, और स्टंट वगैरह करते, इतना फिटनेस था, तो उसको वैसे हो गई बीमारी। बट अभी पहले थोड़ा बहुत ज़्यादा कमजोरी हुआ, इसके लिए मैंने अभी नहीं कर पाता हूँ सब।
उसकी हालत एकदम बिगड़ते जा रही है, देख के मुझे बहुत अफसोस होता है, बहुत दुख होता है, बहुत दर्द होता है।
हेडेक रहता है, और फिर फुल बॉडी में पेन रहता है, फिर कभी ये टांग वगैरह में पेन रहता है। मेरे फादर को सर जाके 10-12 साल हो चुके हैं। कोई मम्मी को काम करने जाना पड़ता है, अच्छा नहीं लगता सर देख कर।
लेकिन मैं क्या करूँ, बहुत मजबूर, एकदम मजबूर हो गई मैं। बहुत हिम्मत करी मैंने अपने बच्चे के लिए, बहुत भाग दौड़ करी।
See? So I'm not trying to punch his limbs. I don't care about his limbs. In our idea, this is a general in here. That guy wants to hurt me. This is the tool. This is the soldiers. So I don't want to start the punch like this. A lot of people do mistakes. They punch against the limbs. So when he comes, I really go in. I don't care about he has a fist there or not. See? In this case, I'm outdoor. It could be I'm indoor. Then I lock in. Because I don't want to stay here so he doesn't get in here. Punches. See? So if I'm keep punching, if I'm outdoor slowly, so you see? Now I have to lock. If Michael doesn't lock, so this means I can intercept totally. So therefore we just do it since we're posing here right now, not really fighting. Also what you learn once you have learned these punches, is also to learn the balance forward and backward. So if I do this, you see? So this is very, very difficult. A lot of people just punch in the air. You need to do lots of Hartman exercises where you can emphasize force. A lot of people do lots of aerobics, as I mentioned, they punch here, make step. It's all fantastic. Drills are good to get a very good coordination. But more important is also put force. You have to deal with force, how you can absorb or deflect the force. And the last thing in any exercise we do here in our system is anger. Because a lot of martial artists don't practice that last issue was happening in the street is anger. Because this is a component you cannot calculate. Even a small person is angry, you can knock out a very big person. If he has the willpower, the anger, you never know how big that anger is. So we try to put this in. Okay? The only thing we don't do is punching for real. So also to exercise this, later on we put our foot forward. It's the same thing. This is basically just control. Let's say he's a boxer and jabs me. I can control his legs. So I can control or cross the other way around. So just, no, it could be a kickboxer, not just a boxer. Maybe he wants to move in and do something. So I can be safe, he doesn't kick me. Or I'm here, he doesn't kick me. If you see a lot of martial artists, if you could go in, and then bang. You see lots of these things that come with the knees. So this is also preventing us. We have the absolute control over our opponent. So if you just step with this, maybe it's better for angle. So you see? So I want to do this and hit him maybe, or just with a punch. Okay, so I can control him. If he wants to kick me here, I can see what he does or feel what he does. So all in Wing Chun has to do with sense of touch. It's very, very important. So what I'm going to let you do is to watch a little bit when Joe and Michael does this with the steps, just chain punches, no kicks. So just do together, just the punches first program. Okay. Start slowly and then go a little bit faster. So here you can see, if he doesn't lock his elbow inside, so Michael rushes in. You guys just practice normally. Try your best.
There's a wild new hair growth method that works incredibly well, and now the world is talking about it. If you suffer from hair loss, receding, thinning, or bald spots, you have to see this. Hair loss has nothing to do with your age, genes, or lifestyle, but instead with a peculiar and well-hidden process happening inside your body right now. A world-renowned doctor has just revealed a secret system so powerful, it cancels the thinning process, restores follicles, and turbo boosts the growth of all your hair, while protecting your scalp, skin, nails, and overall health. Studies by Dr. Casey from Harvard University have shown 100% of the participants in his most recent study regrew all their hair in just weeks. Regain that healthy youthful look and confidence, without spending a dime on dangerous drugs, life-threatening hair transplants, or useless shampoos. This method is so incredible, it has been clinically proven to work on absolutely anyone who struggles with losing their hair, no matter if you're in your early 20s or your late 80s, no matter how long you've been struggling with hair loss. Over 167,000 people have regrown 100% of their hair using this all-natural hair growth secret. This all-natural system goes to work on the real biological root cause of hair loss. Just take 10 seconds a day with this secret all-natural system, and watch as your hair fully regrows in a matter of weeks. Imagine never having that awful feeling every time you comb your hair, and seeing your hairs being captured in your comb, no matter what you do. Or imagine shocking people when they think you're 10 or 20 years younger. The hair loss and beauty industries are scrambling to keep this secret from the public. Join the other 167,000 people, who now have a healthy full head of hair and a new lease on life. Stop wasting years and your hard-earned money on dangerous medications, irritating creams and shampoos, or expensive surgeries. Click the blue button below and regrow every single follicle you've ever lost.
And if the force is too strong for Joe, he can switch around with his legs, just chest angle. So you start to get flexible. So your balance to the left, to the side, to the front is stabilizing here. Just stay more in the middle. Yes. Another thing is, after this, you see how much he has to deal with the balance, going left, right. Okay? And the most important thing is you don't try to get here in the problem that to hit the guy's limbs. Always hit this computer, always hit his head. Okay, thank you. So another thing is force. Also, when we just do this, and let's say Michael is indoor, and he tries to really lock his elbow. So I use my elbow force. I'm very, very relaxed. If I punch, this is very soft here. It's all our force comes here. My fist is very soft. It's like a little bird here. You don't want to squeeze to death or don't let it go. Just keep it very relaxed. Also, when I punch, it's always here. It's not. We don't punch with the fist. Like in boxing, they punch with the fist. We punch with the elbow. If I leave it here and then push my elbow in, you see, the force comes from here. So we use 3 joints: our wrist, elbow, our shoulder. If you look at my shoulder, it's pulling even back. See? So it's not like this. So this would be a push. So by pulling my shoulder back, my joints are not going together, the bones. They're like holded by tendons and muscle, very flexible. So look at how long my fist goes back and forth. So even I don't touch, and I'm not going to open my fingers. If I'm that far away from Mike, I will hit with the whole surface, the lower 3 bones, the whole fist. So I will still touch him. So, okay, if I'm that far away, this will be enough to break his nose. So this is just from the elbow, because it's stretching. Now we also use our spine. When we punch 3 times, we call this arrow punches. At the 3 punch, my spine goes up. If I keep my fist totally locked, without bending it, I'm just punching from my spine. Just this one. So you have to understand, when you step in, boom, this is in. So it's very explosive, very powerful. The biggest power source next to your elbow is your footwork. Because if a smaller person create a whole punch power by using, let's say somebody's 140 pounds and the opponent is 200. So they realistically have given the chance to knock somebody out. It's basically using your body weight to move in. If you look at in boxing, whatever, we dance, the moment I stay and punch, my weight is still. So it's about 40 to 60% of the rotation where my body weight is behind the punch. If you look at karate, they do it with the hips. Very traditional, of course. But the modern karate is basically boxing. You know, kickboxing is American boxing. It's traditional karate mixed with let's say, Western boxing. It's kickboxing, but they don't do punch anymore like this. So they punch like boxing. But still, if you use your hip, it's maybe 20% of your body weight behind. So in Wing Chun, if you look where just Mike stands, look at my rear fit. So look where he says it's really 100% body weight. Exactly where he used to stay. This 100%, this gives a small